everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Lessons. Now, I know I said I was gonna do different videos about my experiences with different gods, both in the physical realm and the astral realm, and I do intend to do that. I will continue, but the first thing I wanted to talk about before I go on is something called the calling. And I had to be like a few months into me practicing magic and studying magic that I received the calling. Now, what is the calling? So, the calling is when certain spirits and or gods call to you. They draw you in because you have some sort of connection to them. Normally, it's a past life thing, like maybe you had a strong connection with them in a past life, and they are trying to call you back, say, hey, we haven't talked in a while, let's get together. And in the video where I talked about the Egyptian goddess Isis, I told you guys that she was the first goddess outside of the ones that I created to actually call to me. I was very nervous about communicating with gods and doing rituals to gods because my dad had fear-mongered me all my life about practicing magic and witchcraft and talking to other gods other than the Christian one. So that kind of got into my head and I was quite a bit nervous about it. But eventually, the feeling just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger that I could not ignore it anymore. I was hearing her in my mind call to me. Every time I would want to look her up, on the internet. I'd be like, about the Egyptian goddess Isis and pulled up all the information. And I thought it was very enjoyable to learn about her. And considering that I do have a strong connection to a lot of the Egyptian gods, that says a lot about my past lives and past life experience. So one of my past lives may have indeed been in ancient Egypt. I have done some past life meditation, but I haven't managed to do Egypt yet. I did a little bit of ancient Greece. A little bit of ancient Phrygia. Let's see, what else did I do? Ancient Roman times, and so on. So normally, if a certain deity is calling to you, it means that you have a connection from a past life. And there are a lot of people who are beginners in magic who don't know which god to start with. So here's my advice for anybody watching who is struggling to find a deity to work with, whether it be because you haven't had the calling yet, or you're not really sure about who you are from a spiritual standpoint. So I would advise you to look up different mythologies from many different cultures and see which ones stand out to you. Like for me, I've always been interested in ancient Greek mythology, ancient Egyptian mythology, and for some reason, I don't know why, when I heard of the name Mesopotamia, it's like something clicked, and I was like, what is Mesopotamia? I got to learn about it. And it was because it did end up being the fact that I did have a past life there. And I had no idea prior. I was a priest to the patron god Marduk. So, and I've always been, ever since I was little and I heard about Mesopotamia, it I was interested about learning about this place, and I didn't know why. In school, they were like, in Mesopotamia, and I was like, what is that? What is that? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. My teachers must have thought I was strange, but it was because I had a past life there. So look up different mythologies, look up different gods, and any of those that really stand out to you, ones that really draw your interests, ones that you may be looking at them on a list and there's like a particular name or set of names that just, you zoom in on, you really start to focus in on. Because that could be extremely likely that you have dealt with them in the past. Their name, just seeing their names or seeing their depictions might strike something in your subconscious that you have not yet explored. And it could be a really cool thing having the calling. And as I continued on my spiritual path, I eventually found multiple different gods that I felt a deep connection with. Like the goddess Styx, who wasn't even prayed to in the ancient Greek mythology. She was just part of a way to explain the story of mythology and how things came to be. But I still felt a connection to her. And now I have so many statues of different gods, like here. So that's my curio cabinet there, full of different antiques, a lot of god statues. There are even some up there. And there's my Baphomet statue right over there. Rhiannon's over there. So, as you continue on your spiritual path, there will be many opportunities to work with gods that you used to work with. Gods that you maybe once had a connection with that, you've forgotten about due to reincarnation. And that's okay. It happens. It's a natural thing. If the connection was strong enough, there's always a chance to go back. And there are even deities that I don't have a connection with that I have started praying to. For example, even though I do find Norse mythology fascinating, I don't feel a connection to it. Like, I like to learn about it, but it's not nearly as interesting to me, or it doesn't draw me in nearly as much as like Greek mythology or Egyptian mythology. And so I am very sure that I was never a Viking in my past life. I never was part of the Norse mythology. I am not really drawn to it whatsoever. I want to learn about it. And I do find some of the legends very cool. However, it's not one that I have a connection with, so I really have no way to, there's no connection there yet. But I can always make one. You can always make new ones. And just by treating the gods as, you want to be treated, a connection can be established. Now, what gods have I started praying to in Norse mythology? Freya. I do find Freya cool. She's a badass mofo. Very strong, independent woman. And she is a goddess of magic, which I do find I'm drawn to gods that work with magic. Of course, Odin does too. Odin is a sorcerer, but I don't really feel drawn to him. And that's another thing I notice. A lot of the deities that I pray to, I'm drawn to the female energies more than the male energies. And I do feel like, honestly, because I have a more feminine energy than other guys. Just part of me. Now, I'm not paint my nails and wear dresses feminine, but, I am a little bit feminine, so I do draw towards that energy. Another one that I have prayed to is Skadi. She is the mountain goddess. goddess of the winter and skiing, and she's really cool. And the fact that in her legend she was a Jotun, and they were giants who knew magic, and she became a god or a goddess by marrying one of the gods in the Norse pantheon. So it's really cool. I think that's it. I don't really have any others that I'm really that I wanted to establish a connection with. Not Thor. Tyr, maybe. Tyr, because he is a god of justice. And I do like justice. Although in terms of justice, I tend to lean towards more Rhiannon, but that's just me. But anyway, yeah, so just do your research, look around for different cultures, and take note of any that catch your eye or draw your focus. And really get into it, study it, and, try to reestablish old connections. Because the calling can be really very cool. It can be very enlightening. You can learn a lot of things from these old connections, maybe even bring up some stuff in the past that you have long forgotten. And the calling is all part of the awakening, which is to know who you are and try to learn your purpose and all that. So that is an important part of the awakening, is the calling. Now, some people may never have the calling. Maybe they're not ready on their spiritual path yet, because there's a lot of people out there who are like atheists, who don't believe in God or an afterlife. They believe that once we die, that's just it. Unfortunately, I cannot go with that. It's just too bland, if you ask me. There's got to be more to life than this. But that's my opinion. Oh, yes, and before I log off, I was shocked when I had the calling from a goddess that I never thought I would have a connection with. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about that in one of the videos where I talk about deities and stuff. But the Virgin Mary, who is a goddess in her own right. I mean, she's the mother of Jesus. And she is associated with light, purity, healing. And I have done a ritual to her, and I'm going to explain about that in the video that I make about her. In fact, I'll probably be the next one, because some of you might be dying to know. But I never thought, that I would be drawn to some, like a deity from the Christian faith. But I am. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And have a beautiful day, and I hope you have the calling soon.